Breaking news tonight. It appears that there is now a settlement in the Donald Trump case regarding the Trump University. Quentin Brogdon joins us, one of the country's top personal injury lawyers. Find him at crainlewis.com. Hey, Quentin, great to have you on WILS. Good
afternoon, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
We just talked earlier this week, and so in terms of the agreement, something like $25 million, what do you think led to the decision to settle the case?
Well, Trump famously said repeatedly during the campaign that he was not going to settle. He said, I don't settle cases. I didn't do anything wrong. And cynics would say he's settling because the cases had some merit and some strength to them. Others could argue that he's, getting ready to be running a country and he just needed to close this up and move on and fry other fish. So it's hard to know exactly what motivated it, but there were some pretty serious allegations. If even some of them were true, he was going to have some issues in the case, I think, and others did as well.
And there were 2 class action lawsuits, thousands of students. How strong do you think the case really was against him?
Well, I don't want to imply I've looked through all the evidence. I've seen the same reports that others have publicly and seen some of the documents, but the allegations were there were these real estate mentors who would be handpicked by Trump, and they were not, in fact, is what was alleged, and many of them came to Trump University. The allegations were after their own real estate investments caused them to declare bankruptcy. So not only were they not handpicked professionals, in some cases they were folks who had failed doing this very same thing, and then people were asked to max out their credit cards, sometimes to the tune of up to $35,000, and it just was a dead end, and it was misrepresentation. Those were the allegations.
Do you think Trump, in the position he was in, would have really known exactly what was happening there?
Well, we can argue, does the president of Walmart know everything that goes on in each and every Walmart? Well, of course not. But he took a pretty personal stake in this. He announced originally in a big news conference that he was opening this so-called university, that he was handpicking, the instructors. And if it's true that he did not do those things after stating he would and allowing the statements to go out by others that he was going to be personally involved and personally pick these people, then it's fair, if that indeed is the case, to hold him accountable for that.
I guess this is the big case. There are many others out there. Do you think he'll be under pressure to settle those or other cases, or try to even avoid further cases as he becomes the president?
Sure. By one accounting, there are about 75 open lawsuits against him, about half where he's suing and about half where he's being sued. The Trump University cases, there were 3 class actions. 2 of them were in California and 1 was in New York. Allegedly, based on this report, all 3 of those are now going away. Each of the members will get money, and then the state of New York will get around $1 million, was the report I saw. But he has a Trump Foundation inquiry still hanging out there. That same Attorney General, Eric Schneiderman in New York, is pursuing that.
About
Trump
the way he was
employees.
Using the money, you're saying, in the foundation?
Yes.
Yeah. And tell me this, though. If his kids take over the business, he becomes president, will they then be the focus in the lawsuits, or would he still be involved somehow?
Well, it depends. If the corporation, he has various corporations. If the corporation is the defendant, then it's not about him personally, other than perhaps he's a witness in it. If he is named individually because of his own specific bad acts, and you have to reach a certain threshold usually, just because you're an officer in a corporation doesn't mean you're responsible automatically for the corporation's wrongdoing.
Okay.
But if he's personally named for something that happened before, he's still in the soup on that.
With attorneys that he has, I'm guessing the top-notch attorneys, do you think he'll ever end up in court or in any way testifying in any cases while president?
Hard to know. He has testified with Secret Service accompaniment in some cases already since he's been running. So it's not as though he hadn't done it. I think he has so many other things he needs to be and should be focusing on right now that really he needs to the extent possible, just try and shut this down. There's just an unprecedented legal cloud hanging over his head. Right. Other presidents have had issues related to before when they came into office, but the sheer number of things out there is that he has just dwarfs anything that we've seen before, ever in history.
Quentin Brogdon, one of the country's top personal injury lawyers at crainlewis.com. Quentin, thank you very, very much.
Thanks for having me on again, Mike. Take care.